veo que te estás acercando. ¿Me estás ofreciendo un abrazo de aceptación? ¡Wowie! ¡Mis lecciones ya están funcionando!
Papyrus,
¡Yo!
¿qué estás haciendo?
¡Papyrus! ¡Te doy la bienvenida con los brazos abiertos!
¡no!
Bien, eso no era lo que esperaba. Pero aún así, yo creo en ti. Sé que puedes hacerlo mejor. Incluso si tú no lo crees, yo te lo prometo.
Papyrus. Hermano. No. ¡No! Lo siento. Lo siento, hermano. No estaba contigo. Me vengaré.
Undyne! You're hurt! Hurt? It's nothing. Next time. Listen when I tell you to leave, okay? Undyne! I'll take care of this. Get out of here! It's nothing. No. Somehow. With just one hit. Damn it! Iris. Elphys. My score. Just like that. I failed you. No. My body. It feels like it's splitting apart. Like any instant, it'll scatter into a million pieces. But deep in my soul, there's a burning feeling I can't describe. Burn the feeling that won't let me die. This isn't just about monsters anymore, is it? If you get past me, you'll destroy them all, won't you? Monsters. Humans. Everyone. Everyone's hopes. Everyone's dreams. Vanquished in an instant. But I won't let you do that. Right now, everyone in the world, I can feel their hearts beating as one. And we all have one goal. To defeat you. No, whatever you are. For the sake of the whole world. I will strike you down!
You're gonna have to try a little harder than that.
Oh, dearie, I'm afraid that you're too late. Together, the spiders and I are going to stop you. Hello there, dearie, welcome to my home, where you'll die all alone. I'm sure that you can read between the lines. Listen up, don't you cry, come on, sweetie, listen as I say. You have lived your final day, just take a look around and soon you'll see all you did disrupt my family. You can fight, come on, Frisk, don't give in, just stay determined. Just one hit, come on, Frisk, don't you quit, come on, Frisk. Apprehensive are you now? Take a swing, we'll take it down. Don't let something else, sweetie, soon you'll be tangled up in this web right next to me. Oh, little one, come join the fun, you don't stand a chance. Oh, human child, come join the crowd in our spider dance. Oh, little one, come join the fun, you don't stand a chance. Oh, human child, come join the crowd in our spider dance.
Bueno. Lo siento, señora. Esta es la razón por la que nunca hago promesas. ¡Tú mataste a mi hermano! Dios, tú quieres algo más.